you saw that Orlando Brown had been traded by the Ravens to one of their top rivals in the conference.
Yeah, like, wow, like, whoa, like, I mean, I think the first thing it was all Chiefs-related for me at first to just go, I mean, what a bold move. The Chiefs, the one thing I just, they're one of those teams, again, every year it's just like, here you go. There's the pot. We're all in. We're all in 2021. It's Super Bowl or bust. We don't give a damn about anything else. And that's what I love. I mean, I love it from that standpoint. I love it from the standpoint of, like, of course, you protect your baby God, Jesus quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, at all cases. Like, what? We got to.
Except in the Super Bowl.
Right.
In the Super Bowl.
Right. Well, they learned their lesson. Because really, if he's protected, they have a chance in every game, no matter who they play, for the next 5 years. It just doesn't matter. We've seen that. When he has protection and can dance around, it doesn't matter who it is, he can make it happen. And that's where I give the Chiefs like a ton of credit. Yeah, they need to do it because the best player in their league is their quarterback, and they're in the window. And Mike, the other thing I love about it, like you and I talk about it all the time, is they go all in on going, no, we have an elite unit. We're going all in on our offense. It's going to be so damn awesome, and we're going to dictate your offense and defensive play because our offense is so awesome. We're going to dictate the game with that side of the ball, and that's where I love the Chiefs in this move.
This is the most amazing package of incompletions in the history of the National Football League. It is amazing what Patrick Mahomes tried to do single-handedly. Guys dropping passes, guys almost making great plays. And it's all coming from the fact that he was running for his life all game long because they didn't have their starting tackles. They didn't do anything to help the tackles they had. It was 5 on however many the Buccaneers were sending. And now Orlando Brown
on one bad foot,
presumably the left tackle.
Yeah, on one bad foot, and now they've added Joe Tooney, one of the best guards in football. They got a better center in Blythe, Austin Blythe from the Los Angeles Rams. We got Duvernay Tardif back. Kyle Long, there he goes. I mean, you look at this offense, and they got other guys. They got Lucas Niang. I'm probably butchering his name, and I don't mean to. Out of TCU, who they drafted 2 years ago in the draft, who I know they like. There's other players they got. So they went from we're going, whoa, this is a really thin offensive line, to you go, whoa, this is one of the better offensive lines in football, and they have some depth and versatility to it. So that's a strong unit right there. I mean, that really is. That's Veach and Andy Reid, really doing a great job of addressing a problem in the offseason, and I mean, really didn't exhaust all their expenses to do it and do those type of things. I think it was a no-brainer, awesome trade for a guy in Orlando Brown who's a franchise left tackle type of player, Mike.
I can only imagine that the Ravens traded him to the Chiefs as an almost absolute last resort that you would have called any other team in the league.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the Vikings would be the team that would end up potentially with Orlando Brown Jr. with some sort of a flip-flop in round 1 or something like that. But to go to the Chiefs, I mean, that's a half click away from trading him to the Steelers, for crying out loud. That's what surprised me. You're making one of your top rivals better. The team that your quarterback has called your kryptonite. You've given them another chunk of kryptonite that they can use against you when they come to town during the regular season in 2021 and when you potentially face them in the postseason.
Right. And kryptonite to the fact, like, they can't get to Mahomes when they play him. And now they gave him a mountain for a left tackle in Orlando Brown Jr. So it is interesting. And Mike, I think you're right. I got to think that they were probably exhausting all options to just go, wait, like, yeah, we want to trade you. Oh, wait, the Chiefs have a good offer? Anybody else out there? Any other offers? Please, please, please. Oh, the Chiefs have a good offer? Anybody, please make an offer. But I think they realized that this guy was gone after next year are going to cause issues. And, yeah, they got a good offer from the Chiefs, and so be it. And the Ravens, you know them. They still got a lot of good offensive linemen, and they'll find somebody here in the draft to improve that part of their team. I'm not worried about them, really.
Yeah, and you're right. It was clear he didn't want to be there, so you got to ask yourself, what are we going to do? We're going to kick the can for a year, and then he leaves as a free agent, and then we finally get a compensatory draft pick another year after that, or do we take what we can get now? And they surely have an idea of what they're going to do. Now they got 27 and 31. Interesting to see whether they maybe package those and try to move up.
Right.
Or it's 2 lottery tickets they get to use at the bottom of round 1. And there's no way they do that and take on that pick if they're not damn confident they're going to get a really good player in that spot. You don't do it, especially not to the Chiefs.
No, I know. So there must be guys on the board there that they're very happy with nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, maybe they could address an offensive lineman with one of those 2 picks, certainly. There's no doubt about that. We know they need edge guys, right? That would be another thing I would be looking at. They've lost Judon and our guy Smith, Zadarius Smith up in Green Bay the last few years in free agency. I would think they're looking for that type of guy there towards the end of the first round, and I would think there's some guys on the board, that fit that mold. So that would be interesting to see. I mean, maybe they get the Rousseau kid from Miami who Calais Campbell just stuck up for and everything like that. I mean, he's a guy that I think could certainly see sitting there at the end of the first round, Mike, as far as a big defensive end who could help out their defensive line for sure.
And that would be awesome if Gregory Rousseau ends up falling to the Ravens and they unite him with Calais Campbell. Campbell has been such a champion for Rousseau. All these questions about is he going to go round 1. When the agent comes out and says there are multiple teams that have said they're going to take him in round 1, unless he's already told the player he's lying just to try to pump up his market, good agents know. They know because the teams have a reason to let them know because there's a broader relationship where you negotiate contracts. So that'd be something if the Ravens end up being the team that take him at number 27. They definitely now they have a need at right tackle, and they may. That's the other side of this. They're planning to sign Alejandro Villanueva from the Steelers after the draft. They want to play that compensatory draft pick game right. The window closes after the draft on any of those unrestricted free agent signings counting toward the compensatory draft pick formula, and few teams master that formula like the Ravens. So that's how they presumably are going to replace Orlando Brown Jr. Alejandro Villanueva moves left side to right side and moves Steelers to Ravens.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's probably the plan. We hear, right? They were talking to Dennis Kelly, I believe, too, this past weekend, or he was in the building for a visit. So the Ravens have a plan set forth here as far as life for after Orlando Brown Jr. And even with that, again, like you said, Ronnie Stanley was hurt last year. He'll be back. They got Zeitler. They got a lot of other guys that played a lot on their offensive line last year because of their injuries. They were mixed and matched. So they have bodies here. This is not like, oh, no, what are the Ravens going to do? They're decimated at offensive line. No, they're a smart football team. Their offensive line is one of the keys to their keys to success. But, yeah, I would say that one of those right tackles is getting signed here in the next few days, and I wouldn't be shocked if we saw somebody get drafted, too, for Baltimore.
Just another layer of intrigue for when the Ravens and the Chiefs get together in the regular season in Baltimore. Orlando Brown Jr. will be back in town, and he and others will be protecting Patrick Mahomes and letting him run around, not for his life, but because he chooses to.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.